Ninjas? Welcome to Yoga with Dojo Cat. I'm Kat. So you guys know that martial arts takes your whole body, so we're gonna do another total body yoga flow today. I think it's really important if you're kickboxing or grappling or whatever. It's important that we take care of those muscles, so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna strengthen, we're gonna stretch, so let's just get into it. So we're gonna begin in child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes touching, melt those hips down to those heels. Rest your forehead on the mat. Take some nice deep breaths into the belly, really expanding the waistband. Getting a nice stretch in your shoulders here. We'll lift up and crawl over to the left and then come back down. Get a stretch in your right side here. And then we'll crawl over all the way to the right and lower our foreheads back down to the mat. And you can come back to center. From here, we'll lift up, bring those knees together and just roll down into a nice back bend here for Cobra. Lift that chest to the sky. Rotate your thighs and heels inwards. And curl your toes, we'll press into downward facing dog. So you can pedal your feet out. And find stillness, trying to get those heels to touch the mat. You can give yourself a generous bend in the knees if that's too intense on your hamstrings. But really important here is relaxing the neck and making sure you have a nice straight spine. We'll inhale that right leg to the sky, exhale, bringing it on the outside of your right hand. And you can drop your left knee and uncurl your toes. And we'll hang out here in lizard for a few breaths. If you can come all the way down to your elbows, I'm jealous, I'm not that flexible, but that's okay. I have other strengths. Option here to open your hip up by coming onto the blade of your foot. That just kind of gives you a different angle. But just take whatever you need today. If that doesn't feel right for you, then don't do it. And curl those toes, lift that knee up, and we're actually going to take a little step in, pivot that left foot so it's parallel, and we'll rise up, straighten that front leg, extend your arms nice and wide, and we're going to shift forward and lower our right hand to our right foot for triangle pose, looking up at our left hand. Okay, we'll move into our first balance pose here. So we'll bend that front knee a little bit, put our gaze about 10 centimeters in front of that foot, and you can just lightly rest your fingers on the mat in front of you, lifting that left leg so that it's parallel. You're stacking your hips and your shoulders over top of each other for half moon pose. If you fall out, that's okay. Just come back into it when you're ready. It helps to find something to focus on the floor in front of you. From here, we're going to move into forward fold. So you can just bring that left leg to meet your right foot. And we'll just hang out here in forward fold. If you need to pedal out your legs a little bit, you can do that. Option to tuck your hands into your elbows and get some swaying motion going. We'll inhale our hands to the sky for mountain pose. And you can bring your hands to heart center. Ground into that right foot, lift that left knee up, and then we're just going to twist over to the left side here. And on your next exhale, we'll move into warrior three. So just bringing that leg behind you into another balancing pose. Option to extend your arms out in front of you to help with your balance. And here we're gonna tip into warrior one. Just gonna have to adjust here because my cat's in the way. So bring that left foot so that it's parallel. Try to turn your hips towards that front leg. Inhale those hands to the sky. And get a nice bend in that front leg. Just make sure that your knee's not going over top of your toes. Relax your shoulders down and away from your ears. We'll inhale those hands behind us, clasp our fingers together, open up those shoulders. And on your next exhale, tip forward, bringing those knuckles to the sky for humble warrior. And release back into warrior one. Bring your hands to heart center, step forward into mountain. Inhale those hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And we're going to step back into downward facing dog. Inhale that left leg to the sky. Exhale, bringing it outside of your left hand. Drop your right knee to the mat, uncurl your toes. Just take some nice deep breaths here in lizard pose. Okay, you can curl your right toes, lift that knee up, and we'll take a step in, pivoting that back foot so it's parallel, straightening our left leg, extending our arms out, shift forward, lower that left arm to your left leg, looking up at your right arm for triangle pose. We're going to go into that half moon pose here on the left side. So you can just bring your fingertips to the mat in front of that left foot. And when you're ready, lift that right leg so that it's parallel. Option to keep your hand on your hip here, or for extra challenge, stack those shoulders. And you can bring that right leg down, bring your toes to match and hang out in forward fold here. Inhale into mountain pose, bring your hands to heart center. Ground into that left foot, bringing that right knee up and then twisting over to that right side. we're gonna kick that leg. And then we're gonna gently kick that leg back behind us, extending our arms out in front of us, warrior 3. And just tip back, making that right foot parallel, bending that front leg, inhaling those hands to the sky, warrior 1. Sweep those arms behind you, clasp your fingers, open up your chest. And on your next exhale, fold forward for humble warrior. And release your fingers, come back into warrior 1. Ground into that right foot, step forward for mountain pose, and fold forward right away. From here, we'll bend our legs all the way down and come onto our bums. We'll just lean back. So just bring your hands out behind you here and bring your knees up about the distance of your mat here. And we're just gonna rock our knees side to side. From here, we're just gonna do a really quick reverse table just to get those shoulders stretched out. So bring those hands behind you, fingers facing the same direction as your toes. And you can bring your heels in close to your bum. And when you're ready, we'll take a nice big breath in as we lift our hips to the sky. And drop your bum back to the mat, legs out in front of you, nice and wide as you can go without being uncomfortable. We don't want to injure ourselves. We'll inhale those hands up, exhale, folding over our left leg. And we'll come back to center. We'll just crawl our hands forward as far as is comfortable without hurting ourselves. And we'll release, inhale those hands up, and we'll drop over our right leg. And you can release. We'll just come into easy pose. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that flow. I would love to know what your favorite pose was from today's flow. My favorite was lizard. I'm a kickboxer, so anything that opens my hips up so I can kick people's heads off when I'm sparring. I'm just kidding. It's all fun and games, right? Yeah, that's my favorite. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Os.